Well, summer is getting away from me as usual. I've been on a couple of vacations. I've been pulled into some anticipated as well as unanticipated work projects. Of course, I've spent a fair bit of time in the workshop with the GT6. And most important in terms of why I'm now rambling, the video I've been working on has taken even longer than expected. Specifically, for months now, I've been working up a video on the Le Mans Spitfires that is based around this gift I got for Christmas, a spark model of one of the Spitfires that ran at Le Mans in 1964. Originally, I was just going to work up a short video that was a kind of review of the model. However, I so enjoyed the research that it ballooned into a much larger project that I have been working on off and on for quite a while now. The whole video probably won't be ready for another 2 or 3 weeks, but since I haven't posted anything in a while, I thought that I would post the completed prelude for that video as a kind of teaser. This prelude presents the backstory, the years leading up to the development of the Le Mans Spitfires. If this revives fond memories or piques your curiosity, then perhaps you'll look forward to the coming video. If it's not your thing, then you'll know to skip it. As a bonus, though, since this is the initial version of a part of a video that is still in the works, you might have some corrections or comments that could make the finished product better. So if you have anything along those lines, please fire away. Anyway, without further ado, here's the teaser. In the late 1950s, Triumph, which had operated under the leadership of Alec Dick since Sir John Black's ouster in 1954, decided to develop a dedicated competition engine, something more advanced than its sturdy tractor-derived sports car engines, with an eye toward winning the team prize at Le Mans and making the engine a limited option for its future TR sports cars. Work began on this engine, known internally as 20X, with 20 representing 2 liters and X, as usual, representing experimental, around 1956. This was to be a twin overhead cam engine. Development was slow, in fits and starts, as time and resources were diverted to the development of new models such as the Herald. Testing of the new competition engine began in 1957. Eventually, the 20X engine came to be known as Sabrina, the Triumph men playfully emphasizing the resemblance between the engine's timing cover and the shape of a famous voluptuous model actress, Norma Ann Sykes, whose stage name was Sabrina. Graham Robson notes that the Sabrina name even overtook 20X in some official Triumph documents. The engine debuted at Le Mans in 1959 in 3 prototype cars on modified TR3 chassis with slightly modified fiberglass and steel TR3 bodies. These cars, which were relatively heavy, were known as TR3Ss. Unfortunately, the Sabrina engine's debut didn't go well, although not because of any flaws with the engine's design. Apparently, despite celebrated development engineer and works guru Ken Richardson's protests, the bosses at Triumph had insisted on running cooling fans on the Le Mans cars with disastrous results. 2 of the cars retired after fan blades wrecked the radiators. It was eventually determined that the engine mount softened during the race and allowed the engine to shift forward during hard braking. The 3rd car had its fan removed during the race and performed very well, running 7th overall and first in its class with 2 hours to go when an oil pump failure destroyed the engine. For 1960, Triumph decided to change the body styles wrapped around the Sabrina engine for its Le Mans cars. As was common, they used the basic structure of the previous year's cars, but they built new fiberglass bodies based on one of Giovanni Micheloti's prototypes for the TR4, known as Zoom. These cars were officially known as TRSs. These were again heavy cars, even heavier than the TR3S's, as well as being less aerodynamic than their predecessors, and they were actually mocked internally as flying rectangles and Coventry-registered barn doors. 3 of these cars were raced at Le Mans in 1960. The Sabrina engine proved durable, with all cars finishing the race, but a late change to less hard valve seats doomed the engine, with all the cars suffering power loss during the race from valve sinkage, and all cars failing to qualify for not reaching the minimum distance over the 24 hours, although in their class they were only beaten by 1 car. But in 1961, the TRSs ran again at Le Mans, and this time, lessons learned, the performance was solid despite the challenges with weight and aerodynamics, and the 3 cars finished in 9th, 11th, and 15th places, and all qualified on distance, with Triumph winning the coveted manufacturer's team prize. In the meantime, Triumph fully understood the limitations of its current Le Mans body chassis combo and wanted to maximize the potential of the Sabrina engine, so they commissioned the Italian race engineer Virgilio Conrero to develop a car for them. This Triumph Conrero Le Mans car was in the works in 1961. It was designed by Michelotti, with 1 prototype having been created and surviving today in a private collection. While the car was an exciting development, Triumph was in severe financial trouble at the time, and its development came necessarily slowly and ultimately too late. Leyland came to the rescue, purchasing Standard Triumph International, and after a very brief calm before the storm, there was a period of cost-cutting and bloodletting. The competitions department, deemed a luxury, was shuttered and some key talent, namely Ken Richardson, scattered. And this is the end from which our story begins.